Um, hey Annette, uh, I didn't know what to post on your wall for the video, so I decided to, give you a very quick review, or synopsis at least, of the movie Saw 3D, and why I don't like it. Okay, so, the movie starts out where it's just a very densely populated area, some city, I don't know, and the camera's zooming over the whole crowd of people, and then it goes to this window of like this store, and there are these two guys that are unconscious lying next to saws. I don't know if you saw this in the commercial or not. And they wake up. Now the people are walking towards the window, like fascinated. What's going on? What are these people doing here? And then there's two guys. One with longer hair than the other, so I'm gonna call one long hair and short hair because I don't know their names because they don't matter. Now they wake up and they're freaking out. Oh, what are we doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? Blah, blah. Because of course, the script in this movie is just atrocious. Anyway, so they're like, what's going on? And then a third person, it's this girl, appears on like the ceiling. She's tied to something, and like a black cloak flies off, and she's only there because she has huge breasts. Now, she's hanging. She's like, "What's going on, you two?" And then that Saw doll rolls out, and the people in the crowd are like throwing briefcases and stuff at the windows. Only the windows doesn't break. The windows don't break, and so they're calling the police, trying to get the police together, and the police take forever. But the Saw doll rolls out, and he says, "Oh, she has been cheating on both of you, for her own materialistic gain. So you can either kill one or the other of you, or you can just let the girl die." So the saws start rolling, and there's a third saw that's right by the girl. Now basically, if one guy has to just push the table, move the saw away from the girl, but at the same time causing the other saw to kill the other guy. So the two guys, now this girl is a horrible person, she's a whore, and instead of just letting her die, they decide to push the table against each other. And she's telling whoever the winner is, whoever's winning, she tells them, "Oh, I love you, please kill him for me." And then after a few seconds, they're like, "Well, wait a second, she doesn't care about either of us, she just wants to live." So then they finally decide to kill her, and they just say the most atrocious line, the dumbest thing I've ever heard in an entire movie. They stop moving the saw, so it's right under her, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And then the guy with the long hair goes, "Looks like we're breaking up with you." I'm speechless. Like, she's about to get sawed in half, and you say, "We're about to break that." It wasn't even a pun, it was just stupid. I want to meet the scriptwriters and teach them how to write, because they can't write, because they wrote, we decided to break up with you. Okay, that's just really annoying. It just really frustrated me. Okay, so he says that. Meanwhile, all the people in the crowd, they're taking pictures and videos with their cell phones. Call the police. One person in the entire crowd called the police, and the rest of them are taking pictures and videos because they're sick people. I would call for help, and of course the police get there too late, and it saws the girl in half, and somehow her intestines fly out, and I don't get how that happens, because it would cut her in half, and I understand it would cut her in half and there's blood and stuff, but it doesn't cut a hole in her, it just cuts one little sliver, yet somehow the intestines manage to fly away from the saw, and land on the ground without any puncture wounds, whatever. And that's how this movie begins. And, basically the rest of the movie is just this one guy who made a lot of money off of, like, interviews and books about how he survived one of the saw traps. Only we then learn that he, in fact, he was never in a trap. He only did it to get, like, a lot of money. And so, but we learned that before he gets in the traps, which is interesting. But he is then set on the usual, I don't know if you've seen the other Saw movies, but basically he has a series of tasks, a series of people he has to save, and like in a certain time period, otherwise one of his loved ones is gonna die, and it's his wife. And so he's going through this. Meanwhile, there's this guy who is the accomplice of the original killer, and the FBI are trying to find him, and they take forever to find him. And meanwhile, there was a really random trap that was quite funny, actually, because it's this guy, and he and his three friends are like white supremacists, and he's glued to a car seat, and and the car is running, and it's like right over this one girl who's tied in barbed wire, and there's chains that are connected to this one guy's jaw, and then there's a guy that's like on the wall. Now, he has to rip his like back out of the seat, which is because his back is glued there. How strong the glue is, it rips off his skin, I don't know, but his back is glued to the seat, and he has to reach forward and turn the car off in a certain amount of time. But of course he doesn't. and the car lands on the dumb blonde girl's face. And you know how I showed you the clip of the girl who got her face ripped off? Well, this girl, her whole head just exploded. It was so stupid. The girl's head exploded, and the car drove forward and ripped the guy's jaw off, and that was pretty funny. And it just hit the last guy. And then the guy in the car hit another car, because he was in a junkyard, and his whole back got ripped off, and he died. So, just a lot of really funny deaths that don't really seem like they would actually happen. This one girl, who I guess was the killer's ex-wife, she leaves the police station because she's afraid, because the accomplice is after her, because she tried to kill him with the thing that like rips open your mouth. And so she's walking, and it's all of a sudden it gets like really misty, like in a Freddy Krueger dream, and she's walking, and then she gets abducted, and then she's in like a subway train track, and you see the guy, he sets up this thing that's like a giant blade that flies towards her, and she's like, ah! And then it rips her into 4 pieces, and it's the fakest thing I've ever seen. Then she wakes up and it was a dream, so I was like, oh, come on, I hated that girl. So then the rest of the movie is just the guy who pretended to be in a trap. He's saving everyone. No, he doesn't save anyone. He tries it. Every single person dies. And this one trap, I don't want to restate it because it's just okay, I can't think. Okay, okay, I'm just not gonna say it. But this one girl, she gets stabbed in the mouth, which, oh yes, that's really clever. And her eyes. I can't say the. Okay, so. And then this one guy, he's blind. Okay, this other trap. How much time do I have? I've been talking for a while. This one guy, he is blind. He's blinded, and he has a noose around his neck, and he's across this like giant open pit with some beams. And now the guy's like, okay, follow me, because he has to get in the key and like give the key to him. Now, he finally, in the last 2 seconds, he could have just walked over and gave the man the key, but he decides to throw it. He says, oh, put your hands, catch. The man is blind. So of course he doesn't get the keys. It bounces off his chest, like his chest is made of trampolines, and it flies to the floor, and the guy gets hung. And I'm just thinking, well, that's what you get. The guy was just so dumb. And then he goes finally to his wife, and then he has to put hooks in his chest, because that's the trap that he made up. And so he wields himself, and he's about to save his wife, but then the things fall off, so he falls, and he lives, and then his wife gets cooked in a oven, which is, I don't know, it reminded me of the movie Sweeney Todd, just because they cooked pies made of people, I don't know. But then you never know what happens to the guy, because then it turns out that the accomplice that was trying to get the girl that I told you, trying to kill her, who is the ex-wife, well, he finds her, and he puts the thing, he puts the bear trap thing on her. And it rips open her mouth. And the first thing that I think when that happens is that she goes, hack. Oh, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I thought it was hilarious. but she dies, and then the guy leaves, and some random guy locks him in a bathroom, who I guess he was in the first one, and then he goes, game over, and then that's the movie. So, there are a lot of things. Oh, I forgot to mention this one girl who in, like, the last one, she had cut off her arm. She had a fake arm, and she... These are just really bad actors, and I never know what happened to the guy who failed to save anyone. He just vanished. And all in all, I saw this, like, 2 hours ago, and it was just... It was something, alright. And... yeah. So, see you Monday.